Hi everyone, it's Amanda. Happy Wellness Wednesday. I'm here today to talk to you about oil pulling. Oil pulling has gained some popularity in the United States in the last decade or so, but it's been primarily used in Ayurvedic medicine before. Oil pulling is a fantastic oral detoxification procedure that is simply done by swishing a tablespoon of nut or seed oil in your mouth for 10 to 20 minutes. Oil pulling, works by cleaning the oral cavity in a similar way that soap cleans out dirty dishes. It pulls out the toxins out of your mouth and creates this antiseptic oral environment that contributes to the flow of oral liquid that's needed to prevent cavities and gum disease. So most people notice when they start oil pulling within a week or so that they just have a cleaner mouth, maybe a change in their breath. I know for me, I always notice when I start oil pulling again, a slicker, like my teeth just feel slick when I run my tongue on them. And then within a month, some people report some dental repair or healthier gums. So how do you start? Well, I do mine in the morning. You can always do it in the evening. But let's start with what kind of oil. There's a few different types that you can use. What you really want to look for is organic or unrefined or cold pressed. What this means is it's going to be maintaining the nutritional properties as much as possible. It's not burning them out or taking them out by filter. And so those nutritional properties, like we talked about oil pulling being like cleaning dishes, it's going to pull more of those impurities, more of that stuff that gets stuck in our teeth and gums. It's going to help pull it out better. So what you might look for is coconut oil, sunflower oil, sesame seed oils. Those are some of the most common. But also olive oil, almond oil, or any other edible seed or nut butter. What do you not want to use, or what do you want to avoid? Some of the stuff you really want to avoid is anything that's been heated or chemically treated, anything that goes rancid easily or has to stay refrigerated, like flaxseed oil, but also anything like cottonseed, grapeseed, canola, soy oil. It's really just a matter of taste. Of how you like of what you like. I really want to make sure before I talk about how we're going to do it and what oils I use is that this is not a replacement for brushing your teeth or flossing or seeing a dentist on a regular schedule. But this is fairly cheap. There's no harmful side effects, and why not? It's worth a try to see if you can give yourself some extra oral health. So, how do I do it? I personally use coconut oil, and I use the full fat stuff that you buy at the store. And it's unrefined. It's also organic. And it is solid at room temperature. Right now it's not super hot in my house, and so it's staying solid. I will tell you in the summer, I don't have air conditioning. It does get kind of liquidy, and so when I dip my spoon in, it gets a little interesting. I have used in the past liquid oil. I used to use a liquid sunflower oil. And instead of using a spoon, what I would do is I'd hold a spoon steady and pour it in that way, or I'd put it in a little shot glass and pour the oil in, and then I'd pick what essential oils I wanted to use, put those in, and then swish it back. So those are a couple ways you can do it. What I like to do is I'll dip my spoon into my coconut oil, and then what I do is I pick my essential oils, and then I drop those essential oils directly on this, and then I just put it in my mouth, and I swish for 10 to 20 minutes. One note on that 10 to 20 minutes, I'm up to 20 minutes, but I've been doing this for a long time. At first, it's weird to swish something, especially something thicker like oil, in your mouth for 10 to 20 minutes, and some people might get a little gaggy or it just might feel weird. So it's okay if you're done after 10 minutes. I always set a timer, and then I know. And if you start with just 10 minutes, maybe then you'll work up to 12 minutes the next week. Or maybe 15 minutes the next week, and so on and so forth. Or maybe you wait every month and bump yourself up. Whatever works for you. Just know, even in that 10 minutes, you're still getting a great deal of benefit from this. So what oils do I add to it? Some of the most common you're going to hear is like spearmint or peppermint. Peppermint is just great. It's that minty flavor. And I will always mix one of these in, or put one of these in a drop in my blend, because I often use other oils that don't taste as yummy, and the spearmint and peppermint will mask that. So you can pick peppermint. I like to mix it up sometimes with spearmint, especially peppermint can get kind of intense and very opening. So if it is that way for you, give spearmint a try. The other oil I add, or you could just add this oil if you like the taste of, is Melaleuca. Melaleuca is one of those that we often talk about maybe putting a drop in and pulling your floss through and flossing. Melaleuca is antiseptic, antimicrobial, and it really is great for gum health. So I like to use that one. Another one I personally use is myrrh. I'm going to be honest with you, myrrh is kind of a little bit more of an earthy flavor, so it's a little different and takes some getting used to. That's where adding spearmint or peppermint to mask that taste comes in. But it is amazing, amazing for benefits for gum health and promoting optimum gum health and preventing gum disease. So it's in our toothpaste. That's one of the reasons it's in there. So I really like to add this to mine because it really helps my gums be at optimum health. So like I said, I'll scoop this up, I'll put those drops on, and then I start swishing. I personally do it in the morning, and it's before I have my first cup of tea. It's before I have that first cup of water. It's the first thing I do. And so I put it in my mouth, and then I go back to my bed and I read a book, and I do a little meditation. And like I said before, I do set a timer on my phone so that I know when I'm done. And I really want to give a note on how to dispose of this. I know some people just spit it down the sink. I have very old pipes, and so this is solid at room temperature. You can bet when it gets down into my pipes and gets cold, it's going to get more solid, and I could get some leaks, or I could get a clogged sink. So I would advise you, especially if you're using coconut oil, don't spit it down the sink. I use like a little Ziploc, and I spit into that and put it in my trash, so I'm not spitting directly into my trash. You could also use a spitter bottle that way, or if you compost, you could then dump it into that. But just a little note on that so that you're not always spitting it down the sink, remembering that oils can start to damage our pipes. So I hope you like this fantastic tips, and I hope you're having a wonderful Wellness Wednesday. Thank you.